Hi guys, just thought I'd jump on before this week's episode starts. With a bit of an apology, we've had an audio issue on this week's episode. After we recorded, we realised that the mics weren't working as they should. But instead of re-recording this week's episode, because our reactions are more genuine and authentic, we didn't feel it right to re-record. So I hope you can bear with us this week with the audio issue. And hopefully you enjoy this week's episode with the poor audio quality. And if you did get through it, let us know what you think of Superman if you have seen it. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Cheers, guys.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Brojection Room. I'm Jack.
I'm Gaz.
And today we're going to be doing a Superman non-spoiler review. I almost said spoiler review then.
Really?
We're doing the non-spoiler review first, ending it on the spoiler review. And in between we're ranking the Superman films. Just in any order we think, best to worst. And that is it.
Well done.
That's it. Yes.
Eighth time trying, but we
Eighth
did
time
it.
lucky.
Do you need a cough?
Yeah.
Get it out. Eighth attempt.
Eighth time, we got there eventually. Yeah.
Oh, you did. That's all right. Honestly. Yeah, Superman, our most anticipated film of this year, apart from The All-Time Nights, but we're not talking about that. I am super excited, but I'm nervous at the same time. Because I don't know what you think, yeah.
Okay.
Because we'll say, ever since we started doing this, we said any film we see together, we're just not telling each other our scores, our thoughts. So we're going into this blind, so I'm excited. I'm super excited to talk about it, but I'm nervous what you're going to say.
Yeah, but I've been messaging you. I'm really looking forward to doing this one, because I think our scores will be different. But I might surprise you. You never know.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
So should we just jump straight into this because I'm ready to get all this off my chest.
Let's do this.
We will be referring to our notes because it's been a week since we saw it, and this is the only chance we've finally got together to really delve deep as much as we possibly can into this. So we do have notes for our references. So
we're trying not to keep it about an hour and a half as well.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep this, try and get our points across. Hopefully without Gaz battering me or something.
I'll never bat you. We just have a tendency to go off tangent.
Yeah, off
So,
tangent.
yeah, off tangent. Was that
Yeah,
off
off topic.
Off
So,
topic. Yeah, we'll
off
say
topic,
off topic. Yeah. Should we jump straight in? Superman.
Yep.
2025. Countdown of 3, then scores.
Yep.
Oh God. All right. 3, 2, 1. 9 out of
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. 6.
Okay. Yeah, 6. I think 6 is very reasonable.
No, it's not.
I think so.
No.
Yeah, I think 9 is a bit like, oh.
No, man, you are absolute. You know what? You need to go back and watch it and just learn to enjoy a film.
I when it started, I wanted, I was enjoying it, and like overall, a 6 I think is, it's above average, behave, and yeah, but I think a 6 is a good solid score.
That's not fair. I think that's
Go on,
I
then.
think that's awful.
All right, let's jump into yours, and then I'll refer to mine as well.
All right then.
Okay.
So I don't want to sound like I'm starting my thoughts off cringy, but I do have something that I've written down that I do want to get off my chest.
Okay.
So don't laugh at me until I finish what I've got to say.
If I lack, I've got the giggles today. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Okay. So I am going to refer to my notes for this because I wrote it down. So I'm going to start my non-spoiler review by saying thank you, James Gunn, for making me feel while walking out of the screening more hopeful, not just for the future of DC films, but just it reminded me that hope, kindness, and just doing what we think is the right thing is enough on a daily basis. That was my opening statement, because walking into this film with everything that's been going on in the world recently, and the way that we've been feeling recently, where you think you're doing well enough, whatever. Yes, it's a comic book movie, but I feel like at the time, it's the film I needed to see, because I'm not saying it didn't mean a lot to you, but it meant so much to me. Seeing one of my favourite comic book characters tell me that one step forward in front of the other is enough, and day to day. And it was just something that I needed to hear personally. Because during that screening, I cried about 3 times. Well, I didn't say cried, I didn't bawled, but I was very, very tearful. 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it was just what I needed to hear at the time.
Yeah, and I think, because you had that reaction and it had to be an effect on you, you know, I can't sit here and say like you're wrong, because at the end of the day, I'm wrong, you're wrong, and you're right and I'm right, because opinions are opinions. They're not right or wrong.
And all jokes aside, 6 out of 10. While I think is low, I mean, respect to your score ultimately, but I don't agree with it. But go on.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, aren't we? Yeah. So I've referred to my notes. I'll just get straight in. I can't say spoilers, and we're not doing that yet. Superman, David Corenswet. Okay. I put he's okay, but I put his untapped potential. I think he's good. Yeah, I do want to see more of him portraying Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah.
Obviously, it just needs to see him in a lot more, which I hope he does. I don't know whether they are doing a sequel or what. I don't know, but I'd like to see him again.
Yeah.
But one of the main notes I put is Clark Kent's portrayal and his chemistry with Lois was one of the best parts of this film.
100%.
And I want to see more of them. But instead, well, this is in the spoiler. We get more of Jimmy. We see like sidetracking with Jimmy and his.
I loved the sidetracking of Jimmy. I liked the subplot in the.
Yeah,
Without going to spoilers yet, but yeah.
No, you can do. I mean, I've got no problems with subplots once you've established your main character, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Once we, in a film or two's time, then you can have your subplot with Jimmy, because we know what's. I mean, everyone knows what Superman is and what he's about and whatever. But this is a new Superman. New cast, new director, new DC, effectively, isn't it? So I would have liked to have seen this version with him with Lois, which like I said, I thought was the best part, and then maybe Jimmy's side quest once we established our main character and the following characters, because Jimmy's not a main character, is he? I know he's in the originals, but he's not like not welcome in this one. I was like, all right, you're starting to piss me off a bit now, and I just don't understand why he's such a chick magnet. Nothing like, I'm not trying to sound horrible to the bloke. I don't know his name. I recognise him in a few things, but sorry, squeaky voice then, bloody. Easy, yeah. I just think I didn't want to see him. Want to see more of them, and he was there for just to tick the plot along. And like I said, I don't understand why he's such a chick magnet. Like, what do you think about that?
I will be totally honest. One of the things I looked at my notes was I don't have any problems with this film. Okay. So, whatever you're saying, I am listening to what you're saying, but I'm not going to disagree with what you're saying. I do think it's nice to see, because going on to my life, I've just looked. I like the fact that we are introduced to more characters within the DC that get more screen time. Jimmy Olsen is a side character, so it was nice that some, not all of them, but some of them were more integral to the plot. So it was nice to see actually Daily Planet journalists doing some actual journalism. Going in, without trying to spoil it, going into tapping into their resources, and it was just nice to have that little. It wasn't long. I mean, it was a handful of scenes. It wasn't ultimately it was integral to the plot, but it didn't. It didn't bother me as much.
Okay.
Well, I'm listening here to you because I genuinely don't have many problems with this movie. In fact, I'm positive. However, and there is a 9 out of 10 for a reason, which I'll get into later.
Okay.
But one of the things that I love the most, that it focuses on the man in Superman. It felt like, yes, we know Superman's grandeur and he's a god basically, but it was just nice showing us that he's more human side and the reasonings as to why he does what he does. And it was just nice seeing Superman save the ordinary folk, caring about the little guy. And I think that was such a lovely take. And finally, something true to the comic, where it would be saving a cat from a tree or saving a squirrel. He cares about all form of life, and I think it was lovely to see.
There's a time and place to show that.
No, not really.
For an animal. We'll get into that in this. It's not really a spoiler, but.
I think it was in the trailer, to be fair to you.
Yeah. Like, obviously it was in the trailer, but I think like the way he saves the animals. Like, I get the message. Like, he protects and he values all life.
But that's Superman.
Yeah, and I understand that. I'm just saying in the context of the
story.
Of that literal scene.
Okay, go into that spoiler. I know what you're trying to allude to. Yeah, we'll wait to the end. But okay.
Yeah. So jump on to my next point.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to reveal my spoilers yet. So I put Lex Luthor. What did you think about?
The best Lex Luthor we've had.
Okay, so I put here, I was thinking that Nicholas Hoult would be good, not worried about it going in, but thinking, wow, he's a little bit of a letdown.
Really?
Yeah.
He's one of... I
don't know, so
strongly disagree with that.
maybe it's the material he was given, but he just seemed like a brat, just wanting his own way. He wasn't menacing, he wasn't really cunning, and when he had his plans, they was all off screen, like getting to the place and doing that, and he's got his own little place for when people doing wrong, and I was a bit like,
you know what, I get what you're saying. The only reason I'm trying to, like I say, I can't wait to jump to spoilers, so
yeah,
because I know what you're saying, and I do think there is a really good explanation behind all that. And I think why I say this Lex Luthor is probably the best one we've had is because he is envious. He is like sort of jealous of Superman. He refers to it in a scene which we'll talk about in spoilers. That is Lex Luthor all over. He wants to be connected to all these different people, and yet you have this guy who comes down in a red cape and the world worships him. So he is very envious of Superman, but that's what Lex is all about. So if he feels that someone's better than him, he will do all he can, put all his resources into tearing you down no matter what. And I think Nicholas Holt's portrayal of that was bang on top. No, I don't want to say top notch because I think that's but compared to some of the other Lex Luthors we've had, he is by far the most, let's say, the most envious, the most cruel, but just to weigh one man's hope down in a way. And that's what I loved about the dynamic between the two, because no matter what, they were going at each other from different points of view, and yet it was just fascinating to see it unfold. So, I mean, come on, I mean, we'll talk about it later, like very briefly, but what do you think? Who's the better Lex Luthor? Jesse Eisenberg, Gene Hackman, Kevin Spacey? Compared to
I like Gene Hackman.
Compared to all the ones we've had, this is the most comic accurate and the most accurate portrayal of Lex Luthor that we've seen.
Well, I will say actually, I don't know about you, but I haven't watched like the shows like Lois and Clark and Lois.
No, I haven't seen any of them.
Apparently, some of the portrayals in, I don't know which one it is, but
I heard the one in Smallville.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, he's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I'm not going to put mine with £2 in or whatever they're saying. I've never watched it, so. But yeah, I put also his side villains like the engineer and the other. Well, the engineer was crap.
Which one? The one who had all nano.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man.
Rubbish.
No.
1 minute underpowered, the next overpowered. Yeah, like we'll have to delve into that more into spoilers, but yeah, it's just like she was there to do one thing, then the next thing she did another thing, but then she couldn't do another thing later on after, and like I was just like, nah, I'm not bothered. Apparently there's meant to be like a spin-off with her or something. She was going to have her own property, but apparently they've binned it off, or I don't know whether that's true or not, but yeah, I was a bit like, that's fine with me because I'm not interested, not bothered at all. Oops, and I guess you disagree.
I do.
Okay, go on.
Sorry.
Lay it on me.
Crypto,
yeah, he's a dog. Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah, he was all right, but
I loved him.
Yeah.
James Gunn has such a good way with dealing with animals in his movies.
Yeah,
you look at Rocky Raccoon. Now you look at Crypto. There was what's the other one here with the dog involved? I mean, you can argue Peacemaker with the eagle. One of the best battle parts. Just has a way with doing it. But I will say as well that I think this was a lot funnier than I thought. So I did chuckle. I did have I did laugh quite a lot.
Actually, I did not find it that funny, this film.
So, because I think it's easy for me to sit here and defend it, and you go against it, but like I'd rather listen to what you've got to say, because like I say, I don't have any issues, so it's easy for us to go back and forth and say why I defend it. So I want to know some things that you don't particularly like about it. Like, what was your main issues?
More of the stuff obviously have to be for spoiler talk.
Mm-hmm.
But for the surface level here, I got Guy Gardner was great.
Oh,
I wanted to see more of him, which is a problem in a Superman film.
Yeah.
Because Superman gets a few good scenes, but in my opinion is overshadowed by side characters in his own film, like Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific.
So Guy Gardner is going to be in a show, a spin-off show called The Lanterns. So he will return.
Yeah,
He's also in Peacemaker season 2, which comes out next month.
Okay.
He'll be in 1 or 2. I don't know how many episodes, but apparently I've seen the trailer. He is in it with Hawkgirl. So he will be returning. And Nathan Fillion was fantastic as
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
them two stole the show. Hawkgirl was meh. Like the actress. She was
the girl that's Dina
Yeah, Dina, yeah.
at The Last of Us.
Yeah, I like the actress, yeah. But this Hawkgirl, I don't know. Not for me.
Yeah, go on.
I thought she just existed in this film. Constantly screams. What do you think about that? Constant.
That's what Hawkgirl
Close.
does.
Yeah. Sometimes it's right in the comic, but to be conveyed into a film, and the way they shot it as well, it's literally so unflattering for this Isabella Merced, however you pronounce her name. It's so unflattering for her to have this like literal like dome fish dome camera, and for her to be doing that, I could see and smell what she had for breakfast. It's that she was like that close.
I think you're nitpicking.
And that I think a lot of people would say the noises, for
But that's what Hawkgirl does.
Yeah,
Like,
but
if
it
you
was
watch,
just annoying.
see, we grew up on, well, maybe me more than you, because I loved it. The Justice League animated shows,
Yeah, I know that.
and that's what she did in. That's what she did in that. So, well, people, this is what I mean. I feel like some people nowadays we were so spoilt with the amount of comics material that we've got. So when someone actually makes something that's comic accurate, everyone has a problem with it.
That's just not
It's like you can't win. You can't win with people. I'm not arguing your point. Well, I am kind of arguing your point, but it's like people say this about this character, but then it's like, well, hang on, they do that in the comics. So what do you want to? We know from the first 30 minutes that this is a slightly. You can use the word goofier, but I think it's a far more. It felt like I was actually watching like pages of a comic turn. Like this is the most comic accurate, like comic movie we've got in years. Some comic book movies try to do a bit too near the realism. You have the Marvel movies that try to blend the both. And now we've got one that's just gone, we're going to be all wacky in this universe. We are going to be slightly more out there, And it's like, people, you're going to love or take it or leave it. But I think there has to be a balance by saying, we're here to entertain you, but we're also going to please our comic book fans, the one who grew up watching these or reading these comics or watching these shows. So for me, I do think that's a nitpick because I don't necessarily have a problem. That's what she did. And actually, I was the opposite. I was like, finally, they've done the scream.
Yeah, but did she have wings?
Of course she has great. She's Hawkgirl.
Yeah, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Of course she has freaking wings. What do you think?
I didn't
So
see.
there's
This
one-
is a
there's no-
nitpick. I didn't see a hole for where her wings would be. That's a nitpick. But I was thinking, where the hell did those bloody wings come from? Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yeah. Crypto put was okay, probably there to make toys and figures out of. Just dog doing dog shit, but not negative dog doing dog shit. It's like just doing dog stuff. I like dogs, obviously. This dog was wacky and just like, not what's the word I'm looking for? Disciplined. I found that good because Superman's like, oh, stop it, and she's not doing it. So yeah. But that part I'll leave to the spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Action scenes were okay, cinematography a bit strange. Same guy who did The Flash.
Yeah, so I don't think it was the most beautiful shot film. I mean, it was very, very colourful. There were a couple of shots which I loved. One of the reasons why I started crying was it's in the trailer, the kid raising the flag calling for Superman. I think that was beautiful. Yeah. There was the shot again in the trailer where Superman and Lois are holding each other, and in the background you got the alien fight in the background. It's in the trailer. That was a beautiful shot. There was a couple of fight sequence moments where I thought like how like a wide shot they used, and I thought that was great to look at. So yeah, I'm not going to say the cinematography of the films. That's one thing I always look at a film, how well a film's shot. It didn't blow me away, but I don't think it didn't take away anything. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good points. But
so this is going to be a make or break for me. What is your thoughts on the score for this film? Music.
Their take on the original Superman theme is brilliant.
Oh, thank God.
But other than that, the score's not that memorable. Like other than the
I've been listening to the soundtrack all week.
Yeah, other than that, I can't. I didn't leave the cinema thinking, oh, You know, for example, like Oppenheimer, that one, I was like, that score was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, whereas this one, I was like, I like their version of the original score.
It was such a lovely homage and such a different new take on it.
Yeah, I thought that, but other than that, I couldn't tell you, like, I thought other than that, it's just very, very basic. Other than the. Basic. Yeah. But the robots have more character and emotion than any Jurassic World Rebirth characters.
That can, you know, if we had a drink here, I'd definitely clink to that one, definitely.
So that's a plus.
That's a
yeah. And then to end it, really, other than the spoiler stuff I got, I put James Gunn did an okay job, but put so many setups in this film that leaves much to be desired. And originally, he didn't have an interest in Superman when he was starting DCU. He didn't have an interest, but then decided to direct it because he read four or five.
Yes. To jump in on that point, because I did a bit of research as well, I watched a couple of interviews with him. He originally turned it down because he was like, I don't know how to do Superman. And this was in 2018, 2019. And then he got better. He made the Guardians movie, and he had like his other side projects. He had like Peacemaker. He did Suicide Squad with these unheard of characters. So it kind of maybe gave him a bit of a confidence boost, and then he finally. I think he said he sat down with somebody, and then they sort of went through how they could do it. He did read a couple of comics as well to sort of freshen his ideas, and then he seemed confident to do it. So I thought, do you know what, fair play, he gave it, and to me, I think he knocked it out of the park. Really strongly do.
Well, which lovely sets up the next point. I would hope for the next Superman film he produces and not directs it. Take a step back. I'd rather him produce it, not direct it.
Who would you rather direct it?
That's not my job. I don't know. Find someone to do. But I just don't think I would be a bit like, oh God, again. You know, if he did it again. And I just think, yeah, he did an alright job to set it up, but I just don't, not for me. I don't want to see James Gunn directing this again. Like another Superman film.
Harsh.
Huh?
I would love to, I would love to do another trilogy with Superman. Yeah, he's not going to direct every single thing from in the new DCU. There's a Clayface movie that's being directed by Mike Flanagan. There's a Wonder Woman movie in production, in development. Yeah. You got Batman Brave and the Bold, which I'm a bit apprehensive about. That's actually my least favourite take on Batman. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Sorry. So yeah, I would happily watch him. Do many movies with Superman, because he can take my money. I don't really have any problems. Like I said, everything that I've got is all positive.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm pleased, and I thought by your reaction at the end of it, I thought, yeah, he loved it. And it's just like I was hoping for me to leave and be like, you know what, that was actually a lot better than I thought. Because like we mentioned last week, going into it, I was like, yeah, looking forward to it. Not going to overhype it, same way what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say like I'm underwhelmed. I think it did what I thought it might do. But like I say, this isn't like a shit on it at all, because there are some good bits that we're getting into in the spoilers, which I thought could have elevated it. And had they focused on more the other stuff rather than the things they decided to, that would have probably bumped up my score 1 or 2. But they didn't, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
I think we need to get the rankings of our Superman movies and then jump into spoilers, because I think there's a bit to cover.
Yeah.
So, because as I say, I'm trying to sort of avoid. I highly recommend this movie. I really do. I think if you love comic book movies, you love Superman, in my opinion, one of the best adaptations we've had. A lot of people will disagree with that. People still love Reeves. People love Henry Cavill. Which isn't a problem. If you love the TV series stuff, that's all well and good. But for me, I think this is the most accurate portrayal we've seen of Superman on screen.
See, I think it's doing good in America, but I don't think it's doing as well internationally, from what I've heard. And like, it's not going to get any better because you've got Fantastic Four coming out next week.
There's a few movies coming out in the next few weeks, and bump it down a bit. But I mean, that doesn't. See, I don't want to be one of those where people go on about how the Snyderverse failed and DC in general. It gave me more hope for DC, because between the two, I am a DC guy. I'm not. We never really grew up on Marvel stuff. We apart from the Hulk show, the X-Men series, the show, the Spider-Man cartoon, whatever. we grew up on mainly on DC and Batman, like and Justice League. That's what, in particular, Justice League. You know, so it's great for DC to get a win for a change. So for me, I'm more than happy for it to do so well. I mean, it doesn't have to make $1 billion to make sure it's so successful. I mean, if it makes 400 or 500, it's a success for me, because DC's had a lot of setbacks and we've had some shit over the years. I mean, Flash, awful, and I think I'm going to be careful what I say, because I think we need to delve into spoilers, so we'll hold it for there. But I definitely recommend it, and I'm trying to see if I can see it again before it goes off.
Good, yeah. Support what you think is good, and that's good.
It gets bums on seats and supports cinema as well. So don't jump in there.
Yeah, I would highly recommend seeing this more than Jurassic fucking World Rebirth. I'd much rather. But unfortunately, this isn't going to do as well as that. Definitely.
No, of course not, because people like dinosaurs, which is all cool. But I mean, hopefully, comic book fans, get out your asses, get out your your hidey holes, and let's go and see this. Go and see this movie. Let's go and support characters that we love. And if we keep complaining we're not going to get what we want on big screen, then if you're not going to back the film and go and support it, then don't complain. Go and see this movie.
Yeah, I'd say go at least, like, obviously you're going to see it twice, which I totally agree with. But if you hadn't seen it, I would recommend going to watch it, because like say you want to earn money in that. So then at least you can say you've seen it.
And just to go off, just to not make you, I'm not saying I'll make you feel bad, but I think you are right you're right in a way, because this movie is a lot more is divided a lot more people than I thought it was going to. I thought we would all be positive, about it, but it has some people love it like me, and some people came out of it a bit it was okay, but it wasn't amazing. It surprised me that so, and it's good that people are divisive and not everyone's gonna have the same opinion on something. Like everyone, like for example, everyone fundamentally agrees that Avengers: Infinity War is the best Marvel movie. It's quite all No Way Home. Like people are gonna argue that, But Superman, we can't really. I mean, Man of Steel gets shit on nowadays for some reason. I mean, I understand. To be fair, say for some reason, I understand why. But
that's a nice little segue.
Into the rankings.
So you're gonna do your number one, then I'll do mine.
So we do from 7 to 1. We'll do 7
or should I do my unorthodox 1, 2,
1, 2, 7, 6, 3, 5, 4.
I think 7 to 1.
Yeah, I will go in first. So can I jump straight into it?
Yeah.
At rankings of, we've got 7 Superman movies. Just to say, we do know there are loads of animated movies. Jack hasn't particularly, because I've watched probably more animation movies than you have.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do Cavill, Reeve, Brandon Ruth, in this one. So we've got 7 movies, live action movies, yeah?
Yep.
We're not including the Justice Leagues or anything like that.
I thought you were.
I wasn't.
Justice League, you put Justice League on our later.
Did I? Yeah. Oh, controversial. Which one? You haven't seen Zack Snyder's?
Yeah, I haven't watched this.
If we're definitely talking about Justice League, then I know I'm fucking putting that one.
See, sorry, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, the Reeve ones. 1 Brandon Ruth.
Yeah.
One
Cavill.
Okay, yeah.
1 Cavill and this one. So
yeah.
Yeah. So number 7, I have Superman 3.
Okay.
Nice.
Go on.
No, I can't. Sorry, very quickly.
Yeah.
I can't justify why this one's liked a lot more than what I think. You know what? I will admit, I had to rewind it because I fell asleep.
Richard Pryor, that one.
Yeah.
So my number 7 one is Superman Returns.
Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah. Brandon Ruth.
Brandon Ruth.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's been a fair few years since I've watched it, but I've never had the urge to rewatch it. And I watched that when I was younger, and I mean, even then I remember thinking, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. And for how old would I have been? 10, 11?
Yeah, came in 2006. So yeah.
9-year-old me being like, God almighty, I'm fucking bored.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like I said, I got no oomph to watch it again, so that'd be my number 7.
Fair enough. So number 6, I've got Superman Quest for Peace. A lot more fun. I can understand why it's hated so much, but I did have fun with it. It was just stupid.
Yeah, I think my number 6 would be that one.
Super Quest for Peace.
Yeah, Quest for Peace. Yeah.
So number 5. Number 5, I have Superman 2. With General Zod. I think he's a British actor, but I can't remember his name. Plays Zod. It's very.
Terrence Howard?
No,
not Terrence Howard.
I can't remember who it was. Yeah.
Terrence Stamp.
Terrence Stamp. Yeah.
Terrence.
So it was a lot more. It didn't know what to be for me. It was either a really serious love relationship about Lois and Clark, or Superman, and then it just wanted to be this really slapstick, alien invasion movie, and it was just a bit tonally all over the place.
Yeah.
I know there's a Richard Donner cut somewhere, like you
Yeah.
can rent that off Amazon, so I might look again.
Yeah, I think I watched the other bloke who directed it, can't I?
Yeah, I'll probably give that a watch. Apparently there's quite a big difference. Yeah. Your number 5? No, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
Superman 3, Richard Pryor.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, it's, I mean, I gave it a 5, which is like average.
Mhm.
Some part I like the Superman bits, but every time Richard Pryor comes on, it's a bit. And I like Richard Pryor.
Awful.
Yeah, and like his.
So not funny.
Yeah, he's normally funny, but in that one, he's basically just playing himself a bit, and like it works in other films. But in the Superman one, where he's like he starts off as the villain, and even the main villain, like, is just.
Yeah, is he actor for that? Because I recognise him, I can remember his name.
I recognised him, couldn't say his name.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on. So, number 4, I have Superman Returns.
Okay.
Brandon Roof one.
Yeah.
What I rewatched that last night, so it's recency bias. It's not as bad as I remembered it, because I was in the same boat as you. As a kid, I was thinking, man, this is a bit boring, and I still stand by that. It is far too long, about half an hour long for me. What's it then? Half a year for me. Yeah, it was for half an hour, far too long. The sorry if you can hear that, it was a car beeping. It's probably throwing me off now. The relationship and the performances from Ruth and the woman who plays Lois and Ruth as Clark, very homage to Christopher Reeve, but their chemistry was a bit stale. But the action sequences were a lot of fun, and he's not a terrible Superman. So, yeah.
My number 4 would be Superman 2025.
Right, this is the last episode of Brojection Room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I said, I'll give all my opinions on it in spoilers.
Okay. So, number 3. So, I have the original 1978 Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, great, nostalgic. Christopher Reeve is brilliant in this. Lois, I keep forgetting the name. Who played Lois in the 78 one?
Go talk.
Is it something Kitten? But no, really good origin story. I was surprised how many famous actors were in this, which I did not know. Because I've only, believe it or not, I say I love Superman, but I never bothered rewatching the originals since I was a kid. So I forgot who was actually in this. And as an adult, when the older you get, you realise, oh wow, so-and-so's in it. Marlon Brando's in it.
Margot Kidder.
Margot, thank you. Yeah, and Gene Hackman as Lex, and Neil Betty, yeah, and
what's his name in that?
oh god, come on, I watched it recently.
Same. It's like it begins with O, doesn't it?
O'Reilly, O'Davy, I can't remember.
Something like
Yeah, I can't remember. So yeah, I've iconic for a reason. It is slightly dated for me, especially the special effects of him flying. If you want to talk about Nick Chicken. Yeah, he does that to his charm, to be fair. And man spun the world back round to save the world. So man, respect.
Yeah, then he never bothers to use that again.
Yep.
But, my number 3 would be Superman 2.
Oh well, okay, that's a lot higher. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it is wacky and goofy, but I appreciate how it followed on from the first ones because they get sent into space, don't they?
Yeah, Zod, yeah.
Minions. Yeah, and then in the second one they come back and yeah, it is a bit all over the place, but I just it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it set up the first one set up the second one so well. Like Christopher Reeve, Superman, and Margot Kidder was like Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had no problems. Yeah, just done fun. Something you watch it thinking actually, yeah, I know you say the action scenes, but I just always done fun. Like I can say done fun for ages. So
yeah.
What's your number 2?
Man of Steel.
Yeah, same here.
Same here. I love it. Henry Cavill's great. I love how it focuses more on the god-like part of Superman and how people see him as a god. Yes, there are problems on a rewatch. Yes, I do understand the criticisms of the third act. Yes, I do believe that he cares about human life and everything, but it doesn't really show. But maybe that's down to poor writing, which is a bit of a critique. Because apparently, like, from what I've seen on IMDb, it was Christopher Nolan credited for a writing thing. So if people want to get picky, have a little bit of pick on, Mr. Nolan, Mr.
Jonathan Nolan, sorry, his brother does most of the writing stuff.
He does, yeah.
So maybe he's not a great writer.
But I love it. I think Henry Cavill's great as a Superman. Yes, and also the reason to choose his dad to die and doesn't save his dad in the hurricane, I can totally understand.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that, but when you watch it, it's a bit like
It's
seems
just-
a bit like that.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Because you think no, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't let his father die, no matter what. That's not Superman. So yeah, I understand the critique, and I am one of those people who do heavily critique it for that. So yeah.
Yeah, but I do feel for Henry Cavill. He was a good Superman.
He was
should have
great.
got- He should have got more. And
He-
they did treat him dirty.
He was, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So I wonder what your number one is.
Superman 2025. Fuck you.
So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for watching that.
Mine's Superman 1978.
Fair enough. I have no problem with if that was in your top three. I would not argue it. I think it's iconic for a reason. It's great.
Kickstarted it all off.
Yeah.
First time people seem like they're, well, not the first time. I don't want to get like people telling them actually it's not the first time. But yeah, first time people seeing Superman on the screen flying around, and back then people have been amazed.
Yeah.
Like you said, rewatch it back and go, oh, it's bloody Marlon Brando, and then oh, Gene Hackman and Ned Beatty and look, Superman, his portrayal as Clark, I think, is really good.
Yeah, he's
It's
good,
like
great Clark.
Yeah, brilliant Clark. Yeah, proper bumbling like.
Probably
you know,
buffoon. Yeah, that's exactly how he
I
is.
think he played that really well.
Yeah, you got to give Brandon Routh credit then, because when you rewatch it, and I was recently biased, like I said, I watched it last night, but he's very bumbling buffoon as well. You know, and it's a homage to obviously Reeve, but at least he kept to the the bumbling buffoon that is Clark, and making people think that he would never ever be Superman. So, but Reeve is the one who started it all. So yeah, don't dispute that.
Bloody ages.
Which one? Sorry, the Reeve one.
Yeah, no, Returns.
Oh, Returns. Yeah, I did give it a rewatch. It's not for me personally. It's not as awful as you remember it to be.
Okay. Shall we jump into the spoiler part?
Yeah. So spoilers for Superman 2025. This is your warning. If you haven't seen it, pause this. Do what you got to do to our 20 viewers and watch it, and then come back. And then come back and then let us know what you think. So
yeah. I would love to know what people think. So if you think I'm wrong, Gaz is wrong, let us know.
100%.
Yeah. Opinions are welcome, obviously.
So can I jump in first, or are you going to let you rip? I'm going to let you rip through.
It's up to you. You want me to?
Well, can I start with a positive first?
Yeah.
Everything with the Kents is the best part of the movie. Every scene, they're going about the action sequences. There's 4 major action sequences in this movie. But for me, the best part about this movie was the dialogue, the conversations.
Yeah,
What is Batman's idea? Batman's ideology is what he stands for. And then when he's back home,
Sorry, if we said Batman.
Superman. And what he is and what he stands for.
Yeah.
But then when he comes back home, we see the human side for him, and his parents that care about him, and he's having a conversation with Pa Kent out on the porch or whatever. And it moved me to tears.
That's what I mean. I want to see more of that.
And I don't believe it or not, I know I mentioned it a few times, having being himself and having that conversation saying, we give you the tools to go make some of those fools yourself.
Yeah.
It's beautiful writing, and I related to it so well. And I remember having conversations with our dad, and he said something similar to the line saying, you go out in this world to make an idiot of yourself, but at least if you feel like you're doing the right thing, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So and it was just beautiful. It just kind of, it sounds really soppy, but it meant a lot to me, that scene.
And yeah, that's what I mean. I wanted to see more of, because I think there wasn't enough of that. And when there was like playing off. There'd be a joke somewhere. Like the scene with Superman and Lois when they're talking in his apartment, and you got that like dimensional jellyfish thing fighting behind him, and he's like, yeah, like Justice Gang, I got that. That ain't Superman now, is it? That ain't Superman.
No, but no,
That is not Superman. Like you mentioned, like Superman wouldn't let his dad die.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Superman would not let. If he saw that, he'd want to get involved.
No, he would, but they said the Justice Gang would get it, because this is spoilers now. So when he has the actual full message from his parents about, and yet that is a half a bit of a criticism, because he did change some things. His parents would never say anything like that, but I appreciate and welcome the fact he did to try and do something slightly different. But yeah, I was a bit like, ooh, that's not what they do normally. You're not a ruler. So at the time, yeah, he probably was a bit more of a doge, yeah. Spread your seeds, yeah. But again, he was feeling down. Having that conversation with Lois was very important to the rest of the film. So, and yeah, in that moment, he was like, yeah, praise the Justice Gang, they can take care of it. I'm having a conversation here.
Yeah, I think Superman would do that. I think if Superman saw like an extraterrestrial
Yeah.
thing going on, he would be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
But then the world's against him, so at the time, would he want to approach it? And yeah, you could probably turn around and say, well, yeah, obviously to prove a point. But in that moment, the one person, and this is why this relationship works so well, one person he wanted to talk to will be Lois. And then he had that conversation about doing the right thing, and he said sometimes that is the punk rock, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, I can, like I say, I can see your criticism of that, but I don't think it hinders.
That's not my major one, to be fair. That was a bit like, well, Superman would be helping that. And that's what I mean, that's that scene between them. They're talking and like it's one of the best parts of this film. And then like in the background, like it's playing off for a bit of a laugh. Like, you know,
I think that's James, because it was nice to see this world where aliens do randomly come down and then you've got someone to defend them.
Yeah.
It was nice, it was felt more comic-y. You know, I can picture in the future they're going, oh yeah, the Justice League and all that. You know, it's nice because people can say that about like the Avengers, like, you know, comparing it to Marvel, like people like to do nowadays. They could turn around and say the big criticism of Marvel at the minute is in New York, you're all these superheroes, and yet in the show something else is happening. But then people can turn around and go, well, no, so and so's there. Why isn't he here? I'm not trying to spoil for you because I know you haven't seen Daredevil yet. So, you know, there's something that happens to make people think, oh, I wish an individual character will pop up, but it's like, no, it's alright, they got it. So,
yeah, and that scene I was alluding to,
the kaiju fight.
Yeah, kaiju fight. Yeah, I love how this little kaiju thing from a baby goes into the city and grows massive and doesn't do any damage to any buildings or nothing. That's a nitpick, by the way, because that is proper nitpicking. But yeah, in that scene, because he saves the squirrel, that's what I meant. Yeah, he does value all life and literally everything from humans to animals to whatever. And like, yeah, it didn't need, you know, it's good that they showed it, but in the context of what's going on, it's like.
That's what Superman is. He's got the Justice Gang that are fighting it. He's going, right, you guys saw him, and I'll make sure that everybody's okay. And you know what? One of my favourite bits is that he tries to stop the kaiju from pushing, like, hitting the building. Yeah. And then the first thing he does is turn around and go, is everybody alright? That is Superman.
Yeah, but then then literally again, it like, he wants to save that kaiju, and that again, that is something that he would do. But like, the Justice Gang, they're like, no, like, you're stupid. Like, and they belittle him, like, no, like, it's fucking kaiju, like, we're killing this thing, and he's like, he almost like goes back there, he's like, at least, but now he's like, you could have killed it more humanely.
At the start of the film, it's a 4-year Superman. Like, people could argue the same for like when like the Batman came out and he was 2 years into it. You think, oh no, Batman would really do that, but then he's 4 years into being Superman. You know, he's not a fully fledged like
I understand
person
that, yeah.
Like one.
But maybe you know that could have been good for like future sequels where you see him like maybe bring out his more
become a leader,
angrier side.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no, he should just be like, no. You know, if that's like the way that he feels about like this like life, and he'd even want to save this kaiju.
But in his defence, he didn't even get a chance because Mr. Terrific took him out.
Yeah, I know that.
They put the bombs. By the way, from mentioning non-spoilers, Mr. Terrific is what's happening. Mr. Terrific is superb in this film. I definitely think he was the highlights, and that's what going to other massive credit to James Gunn is that he knows to take not very well known comic book characters and make them an integral part of the film, and probably some of the best bits of the film. Mr. Terrific's fight sequence as well, from Lois's perspective, was superb.
So what I mean, it's Superman's film, but his side characters are just like there's much more. I'd want to watch that. And you can argue, that's what he's doing. He's setting up so you do want to watch, like, Peacemaker 2 with Green Lantern and maybe Mr. Terrific and future stuff. But, like, when this is, like, your new DC film, you're starting it off with Superman, you should be establishing your version of Superman, not setting up other people and them having the better scenes overall. Like, I come out of that film and I think, that scene with Mr. Terrific fighting, you know, on that beach part, that was awesome. And the bit where he's in in that portal world, what do they call it in that? The void or
void.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, the void.
Yeah, and Mr. Terrific in general is like, he's awesome. That's like that's not really a great thing to be thinking about in a Superman film. You know, like it could be like, oh, Superman, Superman's awesome and so was Mr. Terrific, yeah. But for me, it was like Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner and Lois. Which is good for those, obviously, for the Superman film, but they're the best ones where Superman, like himself, was a bit like, he's just a bit inconsistent, like that I referred to again with the kaiju stuff where you know, if he's valuing all life, he should have been like, you know, maybe getting a bit pissed at them, being like, look, next time, I'm telling you, you're not doing that. So then it builds like his, you know, his core.
Maybe that would be great to set up in the future, because like I said before, I think because it's his 4 years only into being Superman, he is probably a baby, you know, he's relatively new to this compared to like the Justice Gang members. Hopefully in future installments he can be that leader that we know who will be the leader of the, I mean, it's not going to stay the Justice Gang forever.
No.
You know, it's going to be turned into a good old Justice League, but like, you know, becoming that leader of the Justice League and the faith, and people having more faith in him to be that type of leader. So can I jump into one, if you're talking about criticisms very quickly, which is a spoiler. So one of the reasons why it's not necessarily 9 out of 10, because it's, for me, there's an issue where I have an issue with it, but I bumped it down simply because I understand, because the first 30 minutes will put a lot of people off, because one of the things that I thought, you know, thinking of an analogy, is that when you're setting up a new DC, like a new universe, you need a lot of setup. But what I appreciated, and which I know which can throw people off, is that you feel like you're jumping onto a moving train at 120 miles an hour. It's like we had like this Star Wars-esque scroll text to say
3 minutes ago.
Which I thought was great. Yeah, you know, like 3,000 years ago, the Krypton blew up. Blah 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 blah. You know, Superman was born, raised. You know, gave it like literally like a Star Wars scroll, wasn't it? And then it's like 3 minutes ago, Superman lost his first battle, and then all of a sudden you're introduced to Superman, you're introduced to Krypton, you're introduced to the Fortress of Solitude, you're introduced to Peruvian Man, you're introduced to that, and it's like everyone's like knows each other, but it felt like you just jumped into another universe. So I can understand why that would be off-putting for some people who doesn't read the comics, who's not familiar. But for people like who are familiar with it, you jump on the ride and you're like, holy shit, this is cool. And I was straight away, I was like, thinking how Superman lost his battle with the Peruvian soldier, and I was just like, that is sick. And then he was injured, and then he's like having to have a healing factor with the sun. I thought, this is just... He does get his ass kicked off film, but then he's not there to kill them, so he is always at a disadvantage. So that's why he was the saviour. He was saving that girl, you know, from the kaiju fight. He was saving the squirrel, which was in the trailer.
It's almost like, did that tick boxes off, but like I'd like to have seen the interaction after that as well. You know, be like, you're alright, you know, where's your family, or whatever.
In fairness, it was a fucking kaiju.
Well, yeah,
so
but
it was really time to go catch up and have a tea cake.
A 2-second thing. Yeah, you good. Yeah, my mum's over there, whatever. Yeah, right, good. You know.
That's a nitpick.
That's not a nitpick, that's what Superman is. Literally, he saves the cat in the
He's like, are you okay? Alright, I'm going to fight this big freaking kaiju monster that's behind me.
No, I think that's what Superman is. Yeah. That's what he should be doing.
What? Well...
Instead of saving squirrels.
You know what? He values all life, Jack, and I'm all for
like
it. You can save as many squirrels as possible. Yeah. So, go on, sorry. What were your thoughts on the CGI in this film? Because I thought it was pretty much flawless.
It's alright. It's okay.
Okay, moving on.
It's like, you know, I appreciate that they have to use CGI because of the aliens and whatnot and that. I'd say it's fine, it does its job. So that's why I prefer the original ones as well. Obviously they use like their version of CGI or whatever, because obviously you can't fly or whatever. Yeah. But there was more practical effects than the older ones.
Yeah, there were, yeah.
I'd like to see a bit more practical effects than this one.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. So, I mean, he does have a rig, he does, like...
Yeah.
He's, like, rigged up.
Yeah.
He does do some... obviously he can't fly, but, like, he has some moments where he lifts up off the ground, are actual, like, he is rigged up, and people do get thrown about a little bit.
Yeah.
If you watch some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But
and the one thing I will defend this movie for, because people go on about Man of Steel, saying like virtually the same thing happened at the end of the film when the void was ripped open and then like half the metropolis was being split, and yet people were saying, well, hang on, people go on about Man of Steel. Man of Steel in that Superman was throwing Zod into buildings where people were in and causing the death of 10,000 people, which was a figure that was mentioned in Batman v Superman. Yeah, but in this film, at least it took the time, which I appreciated, to say evacuation get people off. There was a quick montage of people getting on shuttles, people driving out of the city. So at least we've established that yes, when the void does hit and the rift does hit Metropolis, it is evacuated. And also we get that amazing moment where he saves the woman from getting squished, in the car, and then she drives away, and then he rises from the dust with that amazing score. It was one of the best moments in the film, and I thought this is just my mind was just blown watching it. I thought this was amazing.
And you referred to that kid with the flag.
Yes.
And he doesn't even get saved by Superman.
No, he doesn't. But you know what? It just proves that Superman can't be everywhere. Like he can try, but he can't.
Yeah, this is back to my point. This is Superman's film. You know what I mean? I don't know. He was busy doing whatever else, but in Superman's film, he should be the one at the end going there.
I get it. I get your criticism. I understand it. I don't agree with it because I'm thinking this is the first film where we've got to set up a new universe, so we do need to introduce new characters, and characters do need to have moments on the screen. And whether or not he saves that child or not, it just shows that the message that he got across by saying about restoring the hope and doing what we think is right, what we know is right. Because Guy Gardner's an asshole in the film. He's like, well, don't bother me, I ain't gonna bother. And he keeps referring back to the Lantern Code, which is all bollocks. So it's just him doing something when he fancies it or not. But that shows perfectly that his message got through to people by saying, do you know what? We are meta-humans, we are strong and powerful, and we will stand by something that we don't think is right. That's top subject of that country invading another country, very, very close to a real life subject that's happening in a minute. And it just shows his overall message of, we should stand up for things that we don't think is right, that is obviously not right. So for Superman not to save him, it was integral that the message got across to the Justice Gang, thinking, no, we are better than this, and we should stand up also for where we are looking at something and think, no, this isn't right, and we should do something about it. So I thought it was a superb message.
I get the message, and like you're saying, his personal morals will get through to the Justice Gang eventually, whatever. Fair enough. But I just like Superman in his own film to be there to rescue the kid and then to have that triumphant last hurrah story, whatever. But that president thing, he was crap, wasn't he?
It was a bit stupid, a bit cheesy, yeah.
Yeah. But my main plot, I didn't like. We've already established this though with Jor-El and his parents. That's the worst.
Yeah, and again,
you can change it. Sorry, you can change it to be different, but it's that's Superman's thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first one. It was
you're here to do good.
You're here to do good. The
Don't interfere.
Yeah, don't make the same mistakes we did.
Mm-hmm.
Third one, go out there, have fun, fuck all the bitches you want, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty much.
Yeah, it's not right. I mean, at first I thought that was a plot device. I thought that if they made that up, made it look bad.
I thought Lex Luthor had altered the message.
Same, yeah.
But then literally everyone's like, it's authentic, and even Mr. Trumpet's like, yeah, this is real. They had such a good. It would have been it would have been predictable, but if Lex Luthor, done it. But that's what I mean about that bloody what's her name, engineer, where she just puts her things into his Kryptonian thing, and it's like, oh, I know it all now. And the book, literally, what's the clone? What's his name again in that? Literally, Superman's clone.
The Peruvian man.
Yeah, that one. Why didn't he do it? He's got his DNA and everything.
Patient Zero or something.
Yeah, but he's literally like Superman. Yeah. He's got his DNA and everything. Why couldn't he just do that? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
But
that's one of the reasons why it's not 10 out of 10 is that I do understand the criticisms, but like I said before, my score is a reflection of how I think the movie, how well a movie is made, and how well the story is told, how well it's written, and also the main points I always go with is how it makes me feel. And I felt a lot.
That's lovely.
Even the messages with Park, the conversations with Park. By the way, before I get on to Park Kent, the next Superman's gonna suck when he dies. Because Park Kent dies, doesn't he, of a heart attack, and the message that Superman can save everything, but he can't save the person closest to him of the natural thing that could happen to somebody. So it's going to be heartbreaking when he dies in the next. Because he's going to die in the next movie. He'll die early on, I think. So that'll be good.
In my opinion, those are the best ones. The best scenes in the film, and I didn't see enough of them. one of the last few things that I've got, Superman, Supergirl, popping up at the end, pissed out of face. I was like, oh. And then Krypton's not even his dog. It's fucking.
It's because
Is that actually
Yeah,
legit?
yeah.
Oh, man,
the Woman of Tomorrow
But then most of the time, though, it is his dog, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? Yeah. So it's a bit like, whatever, man. That's a bit like. But yeah, and she's got a film coming up next, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl.
Yeah, based off the Woman of Tomorrow comic.
Yeah. I didn't know she was coming into it. Well, I should have known really, but didn't think she'd be introduced there and then. But yeah, but like, okay, I'll see where that goes. Not really like looking forward to it. Not looking forward to it, whatever. But yeah.
Oh well, I recommend it. I love this movie.
Yeah,
I think people should go and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's last thing I got? Peacemaker makes a cameo in this, doesn't he?
Yep, funny as hell.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sets up season 2 quite well. So I'm looking forward to it. James Gunn, I am all for whatever you want to make in this DCU. I think you are incredible.
I mean, not so much, but you know, I did enjoy it, but yeah, a lot left to be desired in my opinion.
Yeah. Screw you.
Cheers.
And on that note.
No, yeah. Let us know what you think of it.
Yeah.
Would you like to see another one directed by James Gunn or not?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, leave your scores out of 10. Let us know what you think. And thank you as always for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Quick side message before we wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorantly forgot on our last podcast. Rest in peace to Michael Madsen, one of my favourite actors. Brilliant performance as Mr. Blonde. Went too soon, and also to the Diogo Jota and his brother. Absolutely awful. So on that note,
wow, definitely not going to say that way.
Thank you everybody. See you
Have
soon.
a good one.